Today we're going to be setting up and reviewing this Casa Clausi Christmas tree. This one's not going to be pre-lit, but it is 6 feet tall and comes with a base down there. So let's go ahead, set this up, and then we'll fluff up the tree as well to give you guys a close look at what it's going to look like when it's all set up. So I already put the base together just to save some time here, but then the next section has 2 metal tubes that insert inside of each other. So it feels really sturdy. We're just going to make sure all the branches are folded the right direction before we put the top on. And the top does have a plastic base here, and I'll show you guys a closer look at that in just a moment. But we're going to insert that. And we don't have branches on hinges up here. These are all just bendable pieces of metal. And then in order to get it to 6 feet tall, make sure that you guys strain up the top branch there, and that'll give it the full 6 feet right there. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and fluff this up and speed up the footage and then give you guys that closer look. All right, so we just got it all fluffed up, and make sure that you guys let this sit for about a day to let some of the leaves and stuff expand fully. But right now, ours has already been out of the box for a little over 24 hours. So we shouldn't have too much of that going on still. So this should be a pretty good idea of what it's gonna look like when it's all set up and fluffed up. So earlier I was talking to you guys about this mount, and this has a plastic mount here on the top. So you guys do need to be really careful with that. You don't wanna have it get knocked over and break that little piece. But here's a closer look at the actual branches. They look pretty nice. It is more of a bright green color with a couple dark pieces thrown in there, with the brown in the center to make it look like a branch. But overall, they're pretty easy to bend in place. Down here, sometimes other trees will have other sub branches that fold off of that shoot, but this one just has really long mini branches here. We don't have the full W design that some of these other trees have. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm sure you guys have seen it before. And then on the bottom of the tree, here's that base. We do have rubber caps on the end to make sure it's not going to scratch up your floor. And then you guys have that little screw right there to make sure that the base is all screwed together. We also do get some garland wrapped around the center pole to make sure that it blends in and doesn't stand out. And overall, it's just a really simple, nice looking Christmas tree. By the time you guys put Christmas lights and ornaments on it, I think that this will be perfect for the holidays. And anyways, that's it for my review of this Christmas tree.